early on that, but it's Jam Boom Boom, and we are back with the Big Boom Theory. And today's series is going to touch on writing sprints. So, what are writing sprints? I was introduced to the concept a couple years ago by Drea. Shout out to Drea for the concept. But writing sprints is exactly how it sounds. You sprint your writing. And so this is a method that I've adopted into my own practice to get the work done, whether you're writing, whether you're painting, even down to I use a timer when I'm working out, just things like that to really keep a track of what it is that you're producing and making sure that you're doing exactly that. For me, it forces me to write. It forces me to do these things. So setting up this, because this is something that obviously you can do in your own practice, but setting this up in the live streaming world, something that everyone can participate in, whether this be the first time that you've heard of it and you can go and take it into your own practice. But setting that up here. So wait, you can't see. You can only see me, but I'm about to share my screen. I'm going to share the entire screen. So stay with me. Jam Boom Boom. First day back at classes, my second semester. Hold on, share screen. Feeling good. Entire screen. Boom. There it is. So to set up, so say that you are on a desktop or you're using something other than your device to time yourself. I just figured this out. You can go to Google and type in timer. And literally, I think it starts at five minutes and then it'll automatically start to count down from there. Setting the time that you're about to use. There you go. It's so simple. All right, Google, thank you for your service. So what I'm going to do for this first round for writing sprints, so taking in chronological order the steps of taking this idea that you have and putting it on a schedule, creative idea. So now in week 3, taking into consideration the first week of just throwing things on the wall, seeing what sticks. The second week of structuring, as far as how long is the project. What are some important things that you want to approach as far as themes? And now this third week is about just, I wanted to say just like babble, really putting words, especially because I'm using the Big House, a new audio play, to use this method of devising. It's more like mental devising, but maybe I'll get into more titles later on, but really just taking this process of just an idea to a final product. So this third week, really just babble, really in writing sprints being one of those methods that you can utilize to really put, whether that's finger to keyboard to document, pencil to pad, which you can also do, but just making sure that you are writing. And one of the biggest things that I'm also learning from this method is not judging yourself when you are writing, not putting on that editor brain and just really just letting things flow. So I don't want to talk too much. Maybe we'll start at 5 minutes so that I can go back and mark it. If you decide to come back and play back this video, you can mark exactly where the writing sprints start. I'm going to try my best not to really talk. This isn't a really sort of engaging kind of content, but just to have in your repertoire, in your toolkit, as far as how you can go about to put your creativity on a schedule. And a method that you can use is writing sprints. So I titled this Writing Sprint 001 because my goal this week is to write every single day, whether that be something that I want to record as live streaming as this, or something to do on my own time. But by the end of the week, and perhaps the start of the next week more so, having content. So then next week, I'm going to go and edit what I have. So yeah, just honoring that part of yourself that like you just want to blah, 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 and it's already 5 minutes, but I keep talking. That you just want to like ramble and babble and get every idea out as far as what you've created from the step-by-step process. So keeping all of those things in mind. What I'm gonna do for this particular live is I'm gonna start with a 15-minute sprint for myself just to see how that feels. And then if there's time permitting, we'll go into a longer sprint. That'll probably just be about 20 minutes. But shoot, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, you'll find that even these longer sprints, they go quick. They go by really quick. So 5:34, I think I can set up here. Um, let's go in. Again, I'm utilizing uh, Google Drive. Let's see, updated script. So this is the big house schedule. No, that's the schedule for the. I might make a new folder. Damn, time already going by so fast. All right, see. So I'm just gonna say, and just archiving and documenting your process from beginning to end. So writing sprint, writing sprints. Folder. I'll probably just title them by the date. Did I do the right thing? Create and share. Am I doing the right thing? Blank document. Hold up, having a moment here. No technical difficulty. But also giving Professor Bowman today. Hold up, I think the look got a little destroyed in the dance. Hold on. Make sure the collar is popped. All right. Okay, get yourself together. All right, we might be doing this in the notes app. That might be what's gonna go down for this live. Okay. Right. Untitled document. Wait, that's a good. Okay, it's about to. Oh, okay, all right. It's a little slow. It's just a little slow. That's okay. That's all right. We have our moments. We all be a little slow. All right. So what's today? 2/7. Oh, all right. We're gonna start we're gonna start at 8 minutes. 8 minutes. All right. So again, you can use Google if you don't have a device. You can always use Google. Time it. We're gonna start with 15 minutes, and then I'm just gonna share my screen. Let's go. All right. So I'm gonna make sure that people. What's this? No. That's cool. And then I can just make this the. Oh wait, I want people to see the timer. All right. Thank y'all for working with me. And then I'll just do this. How does this look? That looks good to me. And then we're gonna type. Let's go. Okay. There's a timer, but I'm just gonna pay attention to the time. But I wonder, like, if the sound goes off. Nice, there is one. Okay. I wonder if we can change that. All right, we're done. The first sprint. Whew. Some water after that sprint. That was 15 minutes and I got a page and a half done. Now, granted, I did use bullet points, but because I didn't feel like this sprint was dedicated to just like prose writing. But that's just how I write. You might have a different way of writing, which could be you writing out an entire scene, which is what I want to tackle for the next sprint. What to do, Mac Dank? So yeah, whew, okay. So that is essentially a writing sprint in a nutshell. And let me go back. So like really just taking this time to like not think about everything that I just wrote, but just for the sake of this video and maybe for future videos, going in and possibly with the intent of discovering something about your idea that you dedicated 15 minutes of uninterrupted time to accomplishing and sketching out and getting more precise and more clear. So obviously this is how I go about. I'm very rigid, especially in the beginning stages. You know, structure for me is huge to know what my limitations are in as far as a play and the basics of a play. Like who are the characters? Where is the setting? Things like that. So you can already see that I worked very much in that realm. There's all unscripted improv. So main characters, I established the characters. As I was sprinting though, and I established this somewhere beforehand, and we'll start what time? 25. Damn. Maybe we'll start in about 2 minutes for the next. Yeah. Oh, we'll start in three. Yeah, let's start at in 3 minutes for a 20-minute sprint. But just to go through again for the sake of this video, just going through what it is that I discovered during the last sprint. So somewhere discovering that there are unseen characters, that there's I mean writing this initially as an audio play, but with the intent that this will be um, staged on a stage. This can be produced on a stage. So three main characters and then three unseen characters, and then that made me and forced me to think of the triune of, especially for the unseen characters, the newscaster, the chef, and the sea monster, which could play off of the triune of the Son, the Father, the Holy Spirit. This idea, and especially because they're not seen, and in a common in a way, I mean, you can do this. I mean, yeah, but in a way, like the newscaster is informative, the chef is kind of like comedic relief, and then the sea monster is this existential kind of spiritual being that exists in the play. And maybe, oh, and I can see here, and I can start to add here. So I can say like the newscaster is tied to jam, the chef is tied to the waiter. These like by tied to, I'm more so meaning that they, and I'm looking at time too. Oh gosh, maybe I don't have time to go through all that. Maybe I'll do that for the next sprint. But I do want to, for the next sprint, I do want to run down maybe an entire scene. And I might start from the beginning. Who knows? But again, I'm looking at time and then looking at that looks better. Maybe I'll make this full screen because I don't even really have to see myself, right? But it's yeah. Okay, so I'll run down. I'm gonna look at time. All right, these are things that I came up with. No, let me not rush myself. Hold on. Let me just walk through all this. And then so the spiritual being is tied to the fisher. And I started writing because I'm like, maybe the fisherman, but I want it to be like a fisher person, as in like gender blind casting. I think that's what they call it, gender blind, gender bending. Yeah, just like a, because the fisherman is like the official English like term for it, but maybe it's a woman plays it, or maybe it's a woman who doesn't mind playing a man, a male. Um, yeah, so the Fisher, I'll say the Fisher. So themes that I'm dealing with: imprisonment, both physical and internal, entrapment, being lost and or on the run from an authority or threat. Uh, nautical, underwater, seafood, restaurant. I'm so used to. I'm just gonna read it through, and then maybe if something strikes me as like go more in depth, then I'll do that. But for the most part, I'll just run through what I got done in about 15 minutes. So moments, and shout out to moment work, because instead of thinking of things as full blown scenes, kind of thinking of things as smaller elements, like moments. So Jam enters the restaurant. The waiter is having a conversation on the phone. The waiter waits on Jam. The waiter preoccupies herself. I do want the waiter to be a woman, and maybe I'll write specifically like women related situations and circumstances that women can relate to, or might just say she, her, and hers when she's relating to herself, or other characters are relating. So the way to preoccupies herself by carrying out, I'm going to say out, duties and obligations of a typical busy night. She is being watched from a camera that is pointed at the kitchen door. Question mark? Leave some room for questions. Important. Jam and the waiter engage in conversation. So I just started thinking of just like conversations that could happen in this time, or this part of the scene. Typical things starting with, "Can I take your order?" This is what the waiter's saying. Why are you alone? Like, yeah, I think I was like, "What are you doing here alone on the night of a rainstorm?" I was really hoping that no one would show up. This means I have to do my job now. Like, just some. And then that's when I got inspired for these unseen characters, or these characters that are not physically there in the scene. So continuation of this. So now that the waiter has to do her job, she has to go above and beyond. Why? Asking yourself questions, man. I'll tell you. Just going into it, and for me specifically, like I can have a structure as much as I want, but leaving room open to explore during the process, and finding the aesthetics in the process. Um, and as the creator, working from that perspective versus you have the final product up that's just up, and then from others' interpretation, from your interpretation, how it's perceived, understanding the significance and importance, but laying those tiny seeds right now so you can know exactly what it is that you're producing when you put it out. So why? This could be answered through dialogue about the service industry and the current business climate of the restaurant. Then I said, the prison system. Question, 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 question. And so like allegory style, Gangnam allegory style. How is the restaurant failing related to the prison system failing? And then I wanted to be more specific, because it's like prison system. Like, what am I literally talking about? So asking myself this, and then leaving this as an open-ended question: what aspect of the prison system am I even speaking of? Before I talk about something that I don't know anything about. We are looking to expand. So going back into dialogue, we are looking to expand into breakfast, 24-hour style, buffet style. I'm just waiting until they go out of business so I can collect my unemployment. Just comedy, need some relief, some humor. Wait, who's cooking all of this food? So again, a joke on, like there's this chef who never comes out, but is just constantly cooking and bringing out hot food. Um, this looks like a mukbang special. I'm getting hungry just thinking about this. Under the sea, under the boardwalk. So I was just thinking of just songs, literally. The Big House Seafood Restaurant. So this is again fiction, but it sounds like it could be real. But I wanted to say that first because what I'm about to say sounds like it could be real. But the Big House Seafood Restaurant is a staple in Baltimore inner harbor culture. For example, tourism. But it's losing its flair. But is losing its flair with all the demands of delivery services, lack of ventilation, the cracks in the chair. And then I reminded myself of this idea, the seed that I planted a few weeks back. Like in the play, whether it's the audio play or the stage reading, there's going to be an incessant leak that plays throughout the play. So there's always going to be that. Oh, it's going to be so annoying. But now that I'm even doing this, don't you know, like when you're making a beat, the metronome? Oh shoot, I'm getting into some iambic pentameter type thing. Iambic pentameter, Shakespeare. Like everyone talks around the leak, but maybe not the entire time, but maybe just sometimes. And that's when the audience really notices the leap. And I wouldn't go like, yeah, you. I probably wouldn't do that, but that's an idea. So let me put for the rhythm, and I'm gonna put iambic pentameter, something in the blameter. Sounds like a song. And don't forget the storm. There's a storm throughout the story. So yay! All right, we are at 33 minutes in. What's going on? I appreciate that. Fadili? Fadili, is that how you pronounce it? What's going on, Kendall Joshua? So yeah, this is sprinting. So I want to do another sprint, and I might, just for the sake of time, this might be just a shorter sprint. Because I'm looking at time and got named it. Oh, so this sprint will be shorter. It'll be a 10-minute sprint again, and I'm just going to move around here, so the focus will be less on me and more on like the content and what I'm doing, but still getting my bearings as far as using StreamYard to do this. The next step and the goal is to use OBS, so having a cleaner sort of look interface when it comes to sharing this process over streaming services, which again, you can do this completely on your own. This is writing sprints, literally setting a timer and just, I'm saying the word force, but you can literally just work. But if you are the type of artist or creator that is inspired by deadlines, that helps me out. Especially when it comes to deadlines and creating deadlines for myself, but also just saying, damn it, write something. Gotta do it. And it's like you pushing you into the pool or pushing the bike and you're literally riding out. So let's say like this video, and I'm just, again, just freestyling this. Let's say it'll last about 45, 46 minutes. And so this last sprint is going to be 10 minutes. And so what I'm going to do, set my timer and make sure that that's always seen for the sake of this stream. And then make sure that, and I'm looking on over here too on my screen. All right, that's good. And I can just make sure like this, because I can see myself on my phone, because I have my phone here. Okay, and then make sure that the content is seen, right? That's the most important part. Okay, and I think we're ready. Hold on. Hold up. Okay, maybe not make this window. Come back. Okay, cool. And you can see me a little bit over here. Oh, my bad. Everything's in reverse. All right, you can see me over here. All right, cool. So we're gonna get started on the next sprint. Let me get some water. Quick last suggestion, because I can't stop talking. So creating themes for your sprints as well. If you want to just do a structured sprint like I did here, or you just want to do a free write. I'm a little scared to do a free write, but I'm gonna keep with this. So today will just be like a structuring thing, kind of just key points that I can always go back to. And then the next one will be a free write. And then that'll be like longer, like 45-minute sprints. But without further ado, let's get into the next sprint. What's the time? 36. Okay. Oh, shoot. I lost them. No, okay. Yeah, let's say like we'll start 36:30. 36:32. Yup. Go. Okay, cool. All right. All right. Let's go. I got a good 2 pages of work in 25 minutes. In 25 minutes, 2 pages of work for writing sprints. The first one was 15 minutes, and this last one that we just completed was 10 minutes. That was 25 minutes, 2 pages of work. Just emptying my mind and focusing in on your project. All right, that was good. All right. And also, yeah, I know for me, maybe it's just all the lights too. And this is the first time configuring all of this together, but really taking a moment to just like, whew, okay, we're done. I feel good about it. And water, right? All right. Well, that is essentially writing sprints. So if 9 times out of 10 you do have your own device though, but if you aren't and you're on a desktop, Google has timers. Here's the Google timer. Literally just Google timer. Get your work up. My work is currently inside of a Google Drive folder that is shareable, and either way that you decide to sprint, whether that be like a free write, like prose. I use bullet points, and honestly, I got through like kind of like a virtual digital storyboard type of sprint that I was really able to, at least what I've recollected from the process that was explaining before, as far as what's known and unknown, what I want to discover, and honestly putting myself on a path as far as what these next sprints will be. And when I have a draft of the play, um, going back to this particular draft, because what I'm going to do is just name, um, have a folder dedicated to writing sprints, name this draft twos. That's today, 2/7. Yeah, I got some really good material in just for the sake of time too. So that is writing sprints. Yeah, there are some questions still that raised for me as far as, okay, what's the next sprint gonna bring? That was good. All right, I'm also having a moment of like, damn, all right, got it in, got it done. Yeah, so I'm gonna close this out, and that is writing sprints. So what I'm gonna do when this broadcast is done is go back and timestamp. That's the word, and go back and timestamp exactly when the sprint starts. So if you decide to play back, you can always go back and like write or sprint with me in real time, and then the alarm will go off and all of that as well too. All right, well, this is the Big Boom Theory. I'm Jam Boom Boom, the world premiere. Trying to look at my angles. Jam Boom Boom, the world premiere. This is the Big Boom Theory. This is writing sprint. So we're going to continue this for the rest of the week and just getting out our material, getting out our creative ideas. And hope y'all take really, 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 really good care of yourselves. And I'm going to end it right on 50. And it's done. We out.